Hello. Let's talk about flat Earth. I'm going to definitively prove, not only can I not talk, but the Earth is not flat. Now, I can talk about curvature, and how curvature is measured, and how most flat Earth theorists get the curvature wrong, because they don't take into effect altitude. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not a mathematician, and I'm not a geographer. I could talk about how they get the dynamics of the math of gravity wrong, and how if Earth was flat, how gravity works, how we know it works, based on the math. The center of mass would be at the center of the plane, which is, as far as they know it, the North Pole. The further away you get from the North Pole, the further inclined you would be towards the plane of the Earth, and we don't see that. I'm not going to talk about that, though. Not a physicist. Not going to use that. I'm not going to use any fancy math. I'm just going to use my eyes, and my brain. So, we can use the stars to prove that the Earth is not flat. Sorry, sniffles. So I'm going to establish a bit of an accuracy here. I'm going to call the North Star the stellar North Pole. Now, it's not actually the North Star. It's just barely not, but let's just call it the stellar North Pole. And let's call the Earth the plane of reference. Most flat earthers that I've heard about tend to be in the northern hemisphere. So their plane of reference is north of the equator, and they can see the North Star at night. Then they can see that the stars rotate, or seem to rotate, around one point. That's all fine and dandy. Flat Earth theorists say that supports flat Earth theory. Problem: if you go south of the equator, you see the same thing in the sky, but in the south, and the stars rotate the opposite way. There's no star to denote where the stellar South Pole would be. It's definitely there. There's definitely a point where stars rotate around it. And anyone in the southern hemisphere can see that. People in South America, people in Africa, people in Australia can see the stellar South Pole. Now, in the flat Earth theory, South America, Africa, and Australia are vastly in vast distance away from each other. There's literally only one way that someone in Australia, someone in Africa, and someone in South America could see all see the same point due south, which on the flat Earth would be just looking away from the center of reference, and all see the same point. The only way that's possible is if the plane of reference is a spheroid. And then the people, like north, use my bald head on this one. There's North Pole, all the way down to the South Pole. Like a big old round head is a perfect analogy. Stellar North Pole, stellar South Pole. There's only one way. Someone here, and here could see this point here as if this is a sphere, not a flat plane. So, I actually want people to comment and argue and come up with an explanation as to why people and all the people in the southern hemisphere can all see the same point in the sky. Literally cannot happen on a flat plane. Physically impossible. I want to be proven wrong. It doesn't work if it can be proven wrong. So I want you to tell me and show me. Don't just say I'm wrong. Don't just call me a NASA or Masonic shill. I wish I could get paid to say this kind of stuff. I'm not. Not being paid by some big government organization. I'm not. I wish I was. The money would be amazing. This is just my brain. However insignificant it is, I can still use it. So, comment, please. Bye-bye.